Welcome back to my channel, The Staff Room. Remember, I promised to bring like-minded people into the platform. And today I have a guest, Ms. Seema Wahi Mukherjee. Welcome, Seema. So very delighted to have you here.
My pleasure to be here.
So, Seema is an educator with more than 25 years of experience. She's a facilitator, a mentor, a trainer, but above all, she's an excellent storyteller, which you would hear very soon. Seema is on a mission to transform learning into stimulating and joyful learning environments. And she wants that the classroom should be thinking, feeling, and doing. Am I right,
Yes,
Seema?
absolutely.
So now there is so much talk about experiential learning, toy-based pedagogy, storytelling, and learning by doing and all. सीमा लेमन की लैंग्वेज में जरा हमें बता दीजिए how.
Okay. So experiential learning के कई पहलू हैं. There are many angles to it. So first thing is experiential learning is learning by doing. So generally how a child or even an adult learns is by either seeing or listening.
Yes.
So auditory or
Or
visual.
yeah.
Okay. In both cases, the learner is a passive observer or a listener. Now what happens is when you do hands-on learning, so your hands are moving, making things, touching things, now different parts of your brain get activated and you shift from an observer to an active participant in constructing your own knowledge. Now, one thing before even moving further, I must say that experiential learning does not mean that we provide material to a child and do all of it ourselves and then we say हमने experience दे दिया.
This is the misconception, and I'm thankful that you brought this up.
Yeah.
You know, people think that by providing things and making them do that is not experiential.
Yeah.
You're very right. Please go.
And the hardest thing, which I would say maybe even as a parent, if I were to take it, because teachers are parents as well,
Yeah.
so is to give a toy to your child and then just let the child figure it out. Figuring out is how take a very exploring,
right?
take a very simple example, okay? In this case, I'm talking about an already made toy. Is that you get a shape sorter for a small child. Suppose it is a 1.5, 2-year-old child and there are different shapes in it and the child needs to put the shapes.
Yeah.
Match it and put it. Only if it matches, it will go in.
Right.
So I will give you my example. So I was sitting there watching my younger one, struggling with it. My older son was watching his, 9-year junior brother struggling with it. And so was my husband. And it was very difficult for me to tell them that stay away, let him figure out. Because you know what?
We tend to interfere and
Yes,
tell them
interfere.
ये ऐसे करो.
ये है ऐसे, इसमें डाल दो हो गया, इसमें डाल दो हो गया, इसमें डाल दो हो गया. Now that हो गया के चक्कर में the child is not able to figure out. And soon the child loses complete interest in the toy and thinks it is better I play with the box. Box के लिए तो कोई interfere नहीं करता, उसको तो मैं कुछ भी करता रहूँ. So that, and then most parents say that अरे बच्चा तो खेलता ही नहीं है, उसको तो डब्बे से खेलना होता है. So there is a reason, okay, that वो डब्बे से खेल रहा है. Or otherwise in classrooms and at homes also, a very expensive toy has been brought and the child is told the minute the child touches a toy, the child is told बहुत महंगा है, ध्यान से खेलना, ध्यान से खेलना. So the reason the parent has bought or it has been brought in the school is because you feel very happy you are providing it. But are you allowing the child to explore it, play it, figure it out? That becomes the most important.
Each time they insert a rider, ये ऐसा मत करो, ये ऐसा करो. Then where is the exploration?
Where is the
happening?
exploration? Then another thing, very interesting thing, you do handprints. Okay, so with
For
younger
taking,
children,
yes, yes. They
handprint,
dip in the paint.
dip in,
yeah.
and then the child is told go away, wash your hand, or someone takes him away to wash his hands, and the teacher completes it by making something else. And then the
Very
teacher
true.
says, you have made this. But the child says, I have not made it. So it is about the child making things by themselves, exploring themselves, and you
Playing
can
with clay, dirty your
Yes,
hands,
yes.
with mud.
Yeah.
That is
And-
not happening.
and you will always be able to make out a child's work and the one which is done by an adult.
Yes.
So when we are talking about experiential learning, we see the effort a child has made and the learning thereof of the concepts maybe which have happened or things which the child has imbibed. We don't look at, oh, this is so beautiful. That is not our parameter, which is one thing which we as teachers always need to remember, because we look for it that, oh, this one is the most beautiful. Okay, so that is, we have to see the effort. Okay, now moving forward, experiential learning, when the child is doing things, figuring out, so different parts of the brain are activated. So when different parts of the brain are activated, the learning is much better. And because the child is doing, something is not happening, they're putting together something, it's falling, the child is able to think for themselves. So cognition is happening.
Problem solving also.
Problem solving is happening.
Yes, yes.
Critical thinking is happening. Then they create something, creative thinking is happening. So, when they talk about it, that this is what I did, communication is happening.
Excellent.
And depending on the age they are, and if they are working whether alone or in groups or as pairs, collaboration happens. So this is what we need in education.
Very well said, Seema. Now I have seen your profile and it's so impressive. The number of schools and organizations you have been associated with. Such batao to after 20 I lost count. I said I won't count further. So many interesting anecdotes must have happened. Some achievement, challenge. Can you share?
Sure. So I'll share something which is very interesting. You see, there is clay in both of these. I do stories, okay? And I do it with...
You're an excellent storyteller.
So when I do trainings with teachers, I also do stories the way I would do with a child. And I make plans from nursery to 12, which maybe a single story can take forward. So there's a particular story which I do, and after that I give everyone the same amount of Play-Doh. Okay. Now, interesting thing is that they are given different tasks, but one group, which is grade 3 to grade 5, is given the task that each one can take the same Play-Doh and make a goat out of it. The goat can be, a goat, because the story is about a goat. Okay. It could, if it is a cat story, then a cat. Now, I tell them that you can make it big, small, stout, okay, flat, whatever you want, 2D, 3D, whatever way you want it. So they will make it, and then everything is displayed. We don't talk about that, okay, you made the most beautiful one. We talk about that, okay, which goat looks the tallest, or if it is a goat, that is, or a cat, whatever, which looks tallest, which looks, heaviest, which looks, fattest, okay, all those whatever things come in. And then I ask them in the end that which one do you think is the heaviest? Okay, now it is the same clay. Okay, but the one which looks big and more golu-molu. So most teachers end up saying this is the heaviest one, and then someone will say that, but this was the same. So the process of learning, and then for other teachers also, it's this was the same. So this is what, when we talk of conservation of mass, okay, of quantity, mass, okay, this is how conservation should be taught, children figuring it out. So this is one thing which I wanted to share, an anecdote with teachers which happens.
बहुत ही informative, and I think Seema delves deep into such unique things in education, and I'm sure our audience is also benefiting like me here. And one more thing I would like to ask Seema. So many things are here on the table. Can you tell us what you would like to do with this?
Yes, sure. So we often have one sock left in the house. The other one
Kabhi
somehow gets
misplaced
to
there. Yeah,
misplaced or flies away. Now, this is one puppet I have made with one sock which I found.
Okay.
And the rest of the material which is there, you know, this material is a little piece of fabric which was kept in the house from some kurta which was long and it had to be, you know, something had to be done. So I made it into this. Now this particular toy is made from newspaper. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a newspaper thing inside made into
The
a
head
ball.
part.
And then there is a stick.
Oh,
And the sock is put on it.
my God.
And Dadaji is ready. Now,
Look at that.
now this is another version of this puppet. In this
With
puppet,
the eye stick. Huh?
yes, this has the eye
okay.
stick, and this one also has a thermocol ball.
Pretty lady.
Yeah, girl. So this one has a thermocol ball. Now again, the principle is same, that there is a ball and there is a stick, and the stick is somehow placed in the ball. Now, if you don't have a thermocol ball, what do you do? So you take a paper ball, you take newspaper and you make a paper ball and you make something like this. So for children to figure out, okay, this is there, but I don't
can
have
make
all
the
this.
socks.
What do I make? So creativity, and you make something like this, and then he can talk to you also. Okay. Now, let me show you another thing. We have so much of
this is cost
bottles.
effective also.
Very
right?
cost effective. It's made with everything
Correct.
kept in the house. Now we want a talking puppet. Okay.
With a bottle. Look at that.
Hello. Okay. I am a bottle puppet. Okay. So just simple bottle. There's a cut here and it has been converted into a puppet. Now, another way of looking at life and using things which you have, it could have just been thrown away. Now, if I want to do a little more out of it, you know, all those straw kind of material which comes, it can be put here. All the waste material which comes can be put here, and you can get a different wig every time.
Talking.
But you have a talking puppet here. We talk about chapter of sound. Suppose, okay, physics as sound. Now, we talk about the chapter, but how many of us actually get to explore sound? Maybe in early years, children are told to close their eyes, listen to the sounds around, identify sounds. But as they grow older, it stops. So what if we are going to approach a chapter of sound, maybe in grade 8, I think it comes in 8. Okay. And we keep an array of traditional toys. Okay. Each of them can make a sound. Okay, and we just keep it there, and children are able to explore these. So see, this is a different.
Tell them how to use.
We won't tell them. Let them do whatever they want. Okay. Now this is making a different type of sound.
Yeah.
This obviously, you know, will make a different sound. This is going to make a different sound.
Dolak.
So dolak. Okay. So then we ask children to figure out how come these sounds are different. What are the material used? What could have happened? What could be going on in the mind of the person? Where have you seen this? So we are also then connecting them to the cultural toys which are there, the traditional toys. And they are able to appreciate those craftspeople which they don't see. They are able to appreciate them and see that what kind of scientific concepts they would have known without knowing all those words. And they are making things like this. So
now the tendency is to, learn the theory and then do. But they have done it long time. Right.
Like you would go to melas and find this everywhere. ये हर जगह पे दिखता होगा, हाँ? But ये भी तो किसी science के principle पे बना है. क्या principle है जो इसे इतना बड़ा कर देता है और इतना छोटा करता है? It is how they have been nailed together. Okay, you can see these.
Right. So that's very, very interesting. And I think all our policies, especially national education policy, national curriculum framework, they stress so much upon these indigenous toy-based pedagogy. And Seema, you made it so very, very simple and lucid for us to understand. Do you really think stories make a difference in the lives of children?
Yes, of course they do.
I
Not
see.
just children, even adults.
Okay.
So let me recount two incidents.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular story is why a lion roars.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Porcoy tradition. Why stories? Why
Yeah, yeah.
something happens the way it does?
Mm-hmm.
And it would have come about, I think, and I think it is widely known, because early human beings were trying to figure out why things happen the way they do. Like, why does giraffe have a long neck, and why does elephant have a trunk? So why does a lion roar? In this particular story, the lion did not know how to roar, and he would just be able to make a small sound. Now, in the process of the story, towards the end, the lion, is able to tell his friend that he doesn't feel like a lion. He doesn't feel like the king of a jungle, or he doesn't feel confident that he is something, and that is why he's not able to roar. So the friend takes him, and the friend is a fly, okay, just a little fly, who says that, I can do acrobats, I can do this, I can do that. Why can't you? You're the king of the jungle. And then she takes him to a cave in which he roars a little bit, and there is an echo which comes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a concept of echo also in this.
Yeah.
So then he roars a little more, the echo comes again. And then he gradually gets confidence to roar, and he makes a really a loud roar, and the echo is also a very loud one. And the bat says that, stop it, lion, it's hurting my ears now. You can roar. And he comes out and he goes and he reclaims what he had lost, just because he is able to get his roar back. Now with these children I did this story. And just out of,
so much psychology.
So out of curiosity, I just got them to make a circle. I just thought, let's see what they think. And I asked them, what do you feel within? Like, lion did not initially feel he's the king. So they were all responses which came. Some girl said, I feel like a princess. A boy said, I feel like a Spider-Man, Batman, all those. There was one child who was not willing to talk. So I asked him that, I'm not going to take his name, but I asked him that, what do you feel? And he said, I don't feel anything. I don't think I have any special power. And the same feeling I'm having right now is what I felt at that time. I almost had tears in my eyes, but I controlled myself because I didn't want other children to start feeling, pity or anything. But we did it like, what shall we do for him? That he feels he has something special. So the children came up with this idea, let's put him in the center of the circle, and each of them will come and give their special power to him. A little bit of it. So they can share. So he was there in the middle, and each child came and gave him some. And it was a very solemn ceremony, okay, of children who were like 3 to 8 year olds. And after that, the boy said that, I feel only a little bit, but not much. Now, I found out about him. His mother had had another baby. So I guess he was not getting enough attention, or was feeling, neglected. I don't know what it was, but I did talk to his mother, and she said, I know what to do. So that was, that chapter happened. And I often wondered about him. He sometimes came to my house also. He sat down, he said, I want to read a book. He would sit with my son and read a book, and it was okay, but he never talked about it. But 6 months after this, he saw me, he came running, he tugged at my clothes, and he's a small boy, and he said, Ab main apna power khud bana leta hu.
What is this transformation?
And it was so deeply touching for me, and I knew stories make a difference. So
I'm so glad that you came out with this, and there I can ask you to go on and on and on, but I think we will take it up some other time. Thank you very much, Seema. I really enjoyed this session with you, and I'm sure our viewers also must have enjoyed. If so, please do comment, share, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm Dr. Lata signing off.